Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well wherever, whenever you are. I've been watching some of the media reports, social media reports, and there seems to be a lot of fear going on here, right? At this time and place, in this space time continuum, there's a lot of chaos, a lot of anger, a lot of fear. And this, of course, has to do with the fact that there is a shift going on, a bump up, if you will, right, in frequency that you either align with, right, or not. And if you're not, that is experienced as fear or anger, right? So you see a lot about there's a fearful world, fearful this, fearful that. But as we have practiced and as we know from our Course in Miracles, there is no such thing as a fearful world. The world is meaningless because what? There isn't any world, right? The world you see has nothing to do with reality. It is of your own making and it does not exist. So you're afraid of something that's of your own making, if you look at it. No? So that right there is reason for correction, right? The world is an effect, it's not a cause. Right? So you're afraid of something that you made, then you forget that you're the maker, and now you're afraid for it. Right? But in itself, it's meaningless. You project your fear upon this world. You project your anger upon it, right? So this is where the correction takes place, right? Because now the practice sets in, right? Because remember, you can read A Course in Miracles, you can discuss it, but the fact of the matter is the only way you're going to make progress is if you practice it, right? So here's the practice. You go like, wait, none of this is so, right? This is not real, right? There isn't any worlds, right? So there's nothing to be afraid of. I know I'm experiencing fear, right? Here's the practice. However, I'm afraid of something that does not exist. Why is it that you fear in connection with the world? Because you do think it's real, right? This is real to you. Illusions are as strong in their effects as is the truth. This is not nothing to you. If this were nothing to you, you wouldn't be fearful. You would recognize it as nothing. So therein lies the practice. You go like, no, wait a minute. I know I'm fearful. I know I think this is real, but it isn't. I'm the cause of it. Remember, you're whole and perfect. You're home in heaven. None of this is so. You're dreaming a dream. And this is, and again, another opportunity to change your mind. It's a lesson God would have you learn, right? One of the lessons in our beautiful Course in Miracles. This is again a lesson God would have you learn, right? So this is where you stop and go like, wait, I know I'm fearful, but, okay? Or I know I'm angry, but there's another way to look at this, right? And you just start practicing. None of this is so. This is not real, right? And before you know it, the correction takes place, the miracle, and it's gone, and you don't even know where it went. And you go like, wait, that fear that I was just experiencing, it's completely gone. Where did it go? And the next moment, you're going to find yourself running into some fear or some anger again, and here you go again. Practice, practice, practice. And what happens when you practice that is your frequency is being raised, right? It looks like you're doing the same thing over and over, and in essence, you are. But as you do that, you raise your frequency, right? This will become second nature. So the moment that fear or that anger or whatever upset you're experiencing is coming up, you're now able to address it faster in your mind. You go like me, nope, that's not it. Nope, nope. And you immediately ask for the correction. You step back and ask for the correction. You cannot be threatened. You're whole and perfect. Your construct of yourself can be threatened, right? What you think you are, the way you've constructed yourself, obviously that's not true, which is why you feel fearful, which is why you feel threatened, right? But what you truly are cannot be threatened. Nothing real can be threatened, but nothing unreal exists. That construct of yourself, that self identity, does not exist. It has nothing to do with what you are. So you don't exist. Now, if that is joyous news to you, that's, you're on the right track. If you just got insulted, you might go like, well, what do you mean? That doesn't teach that. That's exactly what it teaches. Nothing unreal exists. That construct of yourself is unreal. That's just logic, right? That's just pure logic. If A and B, then B and C, so A and C, right? That's just how that works. But if you got offended by that, that means that you still really are defending yourself heavily. If this is joyous news to you, that what you are is not real, and what you truly are is whole and perfect, cannot be threatened, that's good news, right? So this is a continual practice. Listen, the Course in Miracles is completely confrontational. You will be confronted, and you will be questioned in your beliefs, and you will being asked to give that up. Your fears, your angers, your beliefs, your convictions, all of it. Yes, it's going to be this. It's going to be uncomfortable, right? It will be, of course. Until what? It isn't anymore. Until you're on the other side of fear, and you stay on the other side of fear, or it goes like that, right? You catch yourself. Correction is immediate. It's gone. You're being sped up, right? This transformation is being sped up, and what maybe up to this before was really hard, right? You were struggling with it, now becomes really fast and easy. There is truly a progression there where things this will become easy if it hasn't already. That's the awakening. It's just that constant reminder, that constant inventory that you check with yourself, where you become aware of your thoughts, right? You become aware of it, and you become faster aware of it. Like the slightest twinge, immediately go like, oh no, that ain't it. Where before you wouldn't even have noticed, right? The thoughts that you're having, you become aware of them, how they affect you, and you immediately ask for the correction. That's the process, right? This is an exciting time at this moment in time, right? In this space time continuum, this is a very exciting time because everything is being sped up, and it looks like chaos out there, and fear and anger, but that's what it looks like. But to you, right, who are undergoing a spiritual awakening, you're just looking at insanity and you go like, well, no, that ain't it. But you become no longer really affected by it, right? Where before you may have raged or you may have become fearful, you go like, yeah, I see it, but it doesn't really mean anything to me. It looks like insanity, right? The world is meaningless. You see your own fears projected on you. It's not doing anything to you. It cannot do anything to you because it's an effect. It's a projection of your mind. Change your mind, it will change as well. I love one of the lessons here. I just pulled it up real quickly, just to kind of conclude this video. And it's one of these key lessons in our Course in Miracles, which is lesson 23. I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. That's true escape, right? Change your mind. I love it. It says the idea for today contains the only way out of fear that will ever succeed. Nothing else will work. Everything else is meaningless. So he tells you how to get out of fear. Give up your attack thoughts, right? But this way cannot fail. Now listen to this. Every thought you have makes up some segment of the world you see. It is with your thoughts then that we must work, if your perception of the world is to be changed. Right? Don't forget to breathe from time to time, right? I always have to remind myself, breathe, right? It's like that breath just kind of brings you right here, right now. If the cause of the world you see is attack thoughts, you must learn that it is these thoughts which you do not want, right? True. There's no point in lamenting the world. There's no point in somehow analyzing what's going on out there. It's meaningless. It's also not real, right? So there's no point in lamenting the world. There's no point in trying to change the world, right? There may have been some point where you wanted to change the world. That's all fine and well, but it's an effect. It's not a cause, right? You got to change the cause. It is incapable of change because it's merely an effect. But there is indeed a point in changing your thoughts about the world. Here you are changing the cause. The effect will change automatically. I mean, this cannot be simpler, right? Again, this is the opposite of the thinking of the world. The world will not teach you this, right? But you who are waking up will know that this is true. right? And practice this, and it will change your entire way of thinking. I love it. It says the world you see is a vengeful world, and everything in it is a symbol of vengeance, right? And then he goes like, each of your perceptions of quote unquote external reality is a pictorial representation of your own attack thoughts. The fear, the anger that you see out there is a representation of your own attack thoughts. One can well ask if this can be called seeing. Is not fantasy a better word for such a process, and hallucination a more appropriate term for the result? Yeah, exactly, right? I love it. You see the world that you've made, but you do not see yourself as the image maker. You forget that you're the cause of it, right? It's not doing anything to you. It's incapable of doing anything to you, right? It's only an effect. You are its cause. See how easy forgiveness now becomes? Right. There's nothing happening outside of you. That's your own thoughts out there, right? You're going to have to forgive them. They're your thoughts, right? No one's doing that to you. Love that. You cannot be saved from the world, but you can escape from its cause, right? This is what salvation means. For where is the world you see when its cause is gone? Vision already holds a replacement for everything you think you see now. Loveliness can light your images and so transform them that you will love them even though they were made out of hate, for you will not be making them alone. When you change your mind, right? When you accept that correction, right? This world will no longer reflect back to you your own hatred, but it will reflect back to you the love that you are. Everything will become beautiful, where everything a moment ago was hatred, right? It's a complete 180. It's completely the opposite. The idea for today introduces the thought that you are not trapped in the world you see. Important. You are not trapped in the world you see, because its cause can be changed. Change your mind. The cause is right there. That's escape from this world. Love it, right? What a great lesson. But look what you've been given, that you actually apply this within your own mind. At this point in space time, you have the tools, right? The power of decision is your own. You can change your mind. There is absolutely nothing that your holiness cannot do, right? Through your holiness is the power of God made manifest and available right here, right now. You are indeed given all the power in the universe. And when you apply it to that conversion, right, you end up exactly to that Damascus experience what I talked about recently, that Paul of Tarsus underwent when he said, and I saw a new heaven and I saw a new earth. Because what? He went a very radical, abrupt conversion of his mind, and whatever he was doing in his persecution turned to the most beautiful thing you've ever seen, which cannot be described in words. So I love you. Thank you for watching this video, because truly all we're doing is meeting for a moment and affirming to each other that what's happening at this point in time within our minds, which is an awakening, right? I know what you're going through. I'm going through it, right? Of course, right? Of course. And that's what we share for a moment. We share our own awakening, physical transformation, resurrection, salvation, whichever you choose to call it, right? And it kind of really creates a brotherhood, right? Because truly, you're not alone in this. You know, how does he say it? Angels hover near and about. You have so much help, you have no idea. By accepting the assignment, by saying yes to the assignment, you literally invite the whole universe in to help you. It's impossible that you're doing this alone. It's not possible, right? It's like your little power with the entire power of the universe, right? You can't fail at this. Absolutely not. I love you. I hope you have a great, great day wherever, whenever you are. And I'll see you everywhere.